So how does a country, handle its internal secrets? The really sensitive stuff related to national security.
Hmm.
That's what we're digging into today, focusing on Brunei and its Internal Security Department, the ISD.
Yeah, exactly. And our goal here is really to unpack what Brunei's ISD actually is for you. Where did it come from? What's it responsible for? How does it fit into the bigger picture there?
And we should be clear, right? We're basing this whole discussion purely on the information from a specific source document we have.
Absolutely. Sticking to the source. It gives us a pretty good overview, formation, roles, structure, that kind of thing.
Okay, so let's jump in, the beginning. Why was the ISD even created? What's the origin story there?
Well, the document states it was officially set up on August 1st, 1993, but it wasn't created out of thin air.
Right, it sort of evolved, didn't it?
It did. It basically took over from an existing unit, the special branch of the Royal Brunei Police Force.
Ah, okay. And the document says that special branch was actually disbanded on the same day, August 1st, 93.
Yeah, a clean break, it seems.
Yeah.
A very deliberate move to create this separate, dedicated internal security body.
So what exactly is its job, its mandate?
The document calls it Brunei's Domestic Intelligence Agency, and significantly, it also uses the term secret police force.
Secret police force. That's quite a label. It gives you a sense of the power involved.
It certainly does. And it's important to know who they answer to.
Who is in charge then?
It operates directly under the Prime Minister's office. That's a very high-level connection.
Yeah, straight to the top. Shows how critical this function is seen, I suppose.
Definitely. And maybe one of the most eye-opening details in the source is about detention.
Oh.
It mentions the ISD is known to detain individuals suspected of being a threat to national security for as long as needed.
For as long as needed. Wow. That phrase. It hangs there, doesn't it?
It really does. It immediately makes you think about, the balance between security and liberty. How is needed defined? Who decides when it's no longer needed? It's potent.
Extremely potent. That kind of power definitely makes you wonder about the scope. So what situations actually trigger the ISD's involvement? What are these threats they're looking for?
Well, the document lays out quite a few areas. It covers both criminal matters and intelligence gathering.
Okay.
So things like subversion.
Okay.
Basically, activities aimed at undermining the government, destabilizing things.
Right. Challenging the established order. Makes sense for an internal security agency. What else?
With espionage, naturally.
Yeah.
Dealing with spying, leaks of classified info, that sort of thing.
Standard intelligence work, yeah.
Sabotage as
Right.
well, acts aimed at damaging critical infrastructure or services. And terrorism, of course. That's a major global concern.
Absolutely.
And interestingly, it also mentions tackling the promotion of racial or religious violence. So a role in maintaining social harmony, too, it seems.
So it's a really wide net that casts political threats, criminal acts, social issues.
A very broad spectrum, yes.
Yep.
Covers a lot of ground in terms of potential internal dangers.
But are they doing all this completely alone? Or do they work with other groups?
Good question. The document mentions collaboration. While the ISD has its distinct, powerful role, it works alongside the Royal Brunei Police Force.
Ah, okay. So there's cooperation there.
Yeah, it suggests coordination, sharing information probably, to maintain overall internal security. For you listening, it's key to see it's not just this one shadowy group, but part of a system working with the regular police.
That makes sense. It paints a slightly clearer picture. And it's not entirely invisible either, right? The document gives physical locations.
That's right. The headquarters address is listed, Jalan Utama Mentiri, Kampong Sungai Tilong, in Mukim Barakas B. BT3355 is the postal code.
Muki Baraka's B, like a district or administrative area.
Exactly, yeah. A Mukim is an administrative subdivision in Brunei, so having the address makes it feel a bit more concrete, less abstract.
And it's not just the HQ.
No, the source says they also have branch offices in other parts of the country, Tutan, Balate, and Temperong.
Spreading their presence across Brunei, then, suggests a fairly wide operational reach.
Seems likely, yes. A national network.
Now, there's a slightly curious detail mentioned, something about a construction project. Tobishima Corporation.
Ah, yes, the Latitude Complex Tunku Link in Rimba, completed in 2011.
Why is that in there? Does the document explain the connection to the ISD?
It doesn't explicitly spell it out, no, but its inclusion is suggestive, isn't it?
You mean it might be ISD-related infrastructure?
That seems like the most logical assumption. Possibly facilities, offices, resources used by the department. It's one of those details that makes you, the listener, start thinking. What's that complex really for?
It definitely adds a layer of intrigue, little breadcrumb trail. Now, for official information, do they have any kind of public face? A website?
Yes, according to the document, they do. The URL is provided, isd.gov.bn, specifically the introduction page under site pages.
Okay, so there is an official online portal, at least according to the source.
Correct. That would presumably be the place for any official public statements or info.
And just so you, our listener, know where we got all this, the document itself is presented as coming from Wikipedia, but it also lists its own sources.
Right. It references several archived links for verification, things like a Prime Minister's Office link,
Yeah.
articles from New Internationalist and Aliran.com, and even an archived version of the ISD's own old website.
So multiple points of reference cited within the source itself, which adds some weight.
Definitely. It gives you a bit more confidence in the factual basis of what we've been discussing.
Okay, so let's quickly recap then. This deep dive, based purely on our source document, tells us Brunei's Internal Security Department, the ISD, was set up in '93.
Replacing the police special branch.
It's described as both a domestic intelligence agency and a secret police force operating under the Prime Minister's office.
With a very broad mandate: subversion, espionage, terrorism, even racial and religious incitement.
And that power to detain suspects for as long as needed.
A key point.
Plus.
Collaboration with the regular police force.
And it has a physical presence, headquarters, branch offices, and possibly links to specific infrastructure projects like that Latafuding complex, and an official website.
So when you put all that together, you see a nation establishing a dedicated, powerful body to handle perceived internal threats.
Which really brings us to a bigger question, doesn't it? Something for you to think about.
Absolutely. When any country creates an agency like this, with this kind of power, what are the challenges? How do you balance that vital need for national security against protecting individual rights and freedoms?
Yeah, where is that line drawn and who draws it? The existence of the ISD certainly shows where Brunei places its priorities regarding internal stability. This document gives us a starting point, a glimpse, based on the available info.
And as always, you can explore further using publicly available information to form your own perspectives on these complex kinds of issues.